Welcome to KeepITReal Studios, the only channel on YouTube that keeps it real. The Amazing Spider-Man first released on July 3rd of 2012. It was directed by Mark Webb. This was the first Spider-Man movie to hit the theaters ever since 2007's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3. This is actually one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I really like the way they handled this movie. I felt like they took a lot of inspiration from the Ultimate Comic series. They were kind of doing a little bit more of a darker, edgier Spider-Man, and I felt like Andrew Garfield did a really good job playing Spider-Man in this movie. I believe he doesn't get enough credit. Andrew Garfield is actually my favorite Spider-Man out of the three. In this movie, it was clear that Peter Parker was supposed to be represented as a chaotic teenager, and I feel like Andrew Garfield did a really good job showing that. Definitely one of my favorite parts of this movie was the relationship between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. I felt like the actors had a lot of chemistry with each other, and I do believe they were dating around this time, so it did show relatively well on screen. Overall, this was a very solid movie. I definitely love the dialogue and the relationships between the characters. I love the action scenes, and there were a lot of funny moments throughout the movie, and I believe they still all hold up well to this date. The second Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie first released on May 2nd, 2014. Overall, this movie is drastically different from the first one. In the first movie, it has more of a darker approach and Spider-Man is more vigilante. But in the second movie, you can definitely see there's a lot more brighter colors. They did change the design of the suit, and you can tell Spider-Man is more of like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in this movie. In overall honesty, I would definitely say this is one of the weaker Spider-Man movies. But there are aspects to this movie that I still really enjoyed. Like I still love the relationship between Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. I still felt like they had very strong chemistry in this movie. And the death scene of Gwen Stacy is probably one of the most iconic scenes in the Spider-Man franchise. You can definitely notice the step up in production for this movie. Just from the way the scenes are shot, the music choice, the sound effects, you can definitely see there were a lot of creative ideas for this movie. Overall, I did feel like they could have been a lot more grounded in this movie. Instead of having multiple villains, they could have just stuck to one, and I felt that would have been an overall better story. At the end of the day, I would definitely give The Amazing Spider-Man a solid 7.5 out of 10, and I'll give the second film a solid 5 out of 10. I still definitely love these movies though. I can still watch it. They're still very enjoyable. They're still timely classics. They do hold a soft spot in my heart. If you haven't seen this movie in a long time or you haven't seen it at all, I'll definitely recommend you to go check them out. I still believe they hold up very well to this date, and there's definitely aspects that I believe everyone would enjoy and can definitely relate to. That'll be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please suggest something in the comment below that you'd like to have me review in the future. But that'll be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to keep it real.